Welcome students, this is CXC 2012 paper 2 work through. Now you got the first question. Using calculators or otherwise, find the exact value for 1/3/4 raised to the power of 2 divided by 3 1/2. You have to express your answer as a fraction. So foremost, consider 1/3/4 whole squared. This is nothing but 4 times 1 is 4 added with 3. That's going to be 7 divided by 4 raised to the power of 2. You square it up, this is 49/16. Now we will have to divide this by this. Before we could do that, you consider 3 1/2. This is 6 added with 1, 7/2. So next step ends 1/3/4 raised to the power of 2 divided by 3 1/2 is equal to, this is the first term, 49/16 divided by, this is the second term, 7/2. Now I can rewrite this as 49/16 divided by 7/2. You flip the denominator, it will become 2/7. Now 7 divides 49, 7 times 2 divides here 8 times. This is 7/8. So this is a solution, and they just want us to give it as a fraction. So I stop here. Okay, so this is question number 2. You are asked to calculate 0.0529 added with 0.216. We got to use calculator for this, so I'm going to consider square root of 0.0529. You take a calculator. So we need to have the square root of 0.0529, and that is equal to 0.23. So therefore square root of 0.0529 added with 0.216 is equal to 0.23 added with 0.216. You can just add 0.216 to this. That gives you a value of 0.446. But they are asking you to give exact value or standard value. So if you stop here, you won't get the complete marks. You have to push the decimal. So if you push the decimal, you get 4.46 times 10 to the power of -1. So this is where you should stop. If you stop over here, you won't get the full marks for this. So this is the next question. Typist is paid $22.50 per hour for a 40-hour week. So 40 hours he has to work. Now first question is calculate the basic weekly wage. So what you do is you take 22.5. This is for a week, right? But we will have to find that out for 40 hours. So weekly wage is equal to pay for an hour multiplied by total hours. So she is being paid 22.50 for 1 hour. In totally 40 hours she has to work. So 22.50 times 40, 900. So he is getting paid 900. So calculate the basic weekly wage. So write this down, basic weekly wage, and you put this in a box so that the examiner knows that you are aware of the requirement. Now we move on to the next one. Now the overtime, if she works overtime is paid at 1.5 times the basic hourly wage. So now we are asked to calculate the overtime wage for 1 hour of overtime. Find the overtime wage for 1 hour of overtime. So how are we going to do that? So overtime wage is going to be, this is the usual wage times 1.5 times, so 1.5. So take a calculator, 22.50 multiplied with 1.5. So what do you get? 33.75. So you write this here, 1 hour of OT. OT stands for overtime. Overtime wage is this. So you place this in a box. So we move on to the next one. Now we are asked to follow, or I would say we are asked to obtain this third one. Third one is the wage she earns for overtime if she works 52 hours during a given week. Now total hours she has worked for the week is what? It's given us 52. Okay, required work is what? Required work, she has to work 40. So overtime work is what? From 52 you take away 40. What do you get? You get 12. So overtime wage is 12 hours multiplied for 1 hour is 33.75. So go to the calculator, you multiply by 12. So what do you get? 405. $405. Overtime OT wage per week. Okay, you box it. Show to the examiner that you have got the result. So when the examiner sees your paper, clearly the examiner will be aware that you have executed everything meticulously and you have provided the result and shown the working. Okay, so we will move on to the next one. So what is the next part of the question? The number, this is the last part. The number of overtime hours she must work during the week to earn a wage of $1440. Now what is the weekly wage? This is the solution. The weekly wage the staff gets is $900. So the expected wage is $1440. So OT wage would be from 1440 you subtract 900. You can use a calculator. 1440 you subtract 900. You get what? 540. Now actually this is the OT wage, right? So you will have to get the hours worked. So usually how do we calculate the OT wage? OT wage is equal to hours worked multiplied with the pay per hour. This is the formula, right? Now we have to get hours worked. So what is the shape of the formula? So therefore hours worked will be equal to what? OT wage divided by pay per hour. So this is the new formula. But what is the OT wage? 540. Place that. And what is the pay she has to get, or she will be paid? You see here, 33.75. Place that, 33.75. So now use your calculator. 540 divided by 33.75. What do you get? 16 is equal to 16. So therefore she has to work 16 hours of OT per week to reach what? $1440 wage. Thank you, students. We move on to the next question.